We're talking about money. A $40 million donation from the Chan family for the Vancouver Art Gallery, the new gallery that is. The director, Kathleen Bartel's joining us. Congratulations on this great news.
Thank you. I'm just really happy to be here and just thrilled by the news.
And now this news opens up a huge window of opportunity for arts and culture in our city. You commented at the podium yesterday. What do you truly see as what this money can do, aside from having a new name for the building?
Well, I think it just brings so many opportunities to the community. The gallery has experienced unprecedented growth in the last decade. So, 10 years ago, our visitorship was 180,000. Now it's over 600,000. Our membership has grown from 6,000 to 37,000. So we just have unprecedented, and our current building just can't accommodate that growth.
Well, we're going to get a bigger space, and there's an important distinction. Even though the Chan family has the donation of $40 million in naming involved with the building, still going to be called the Vancouver Art Gallery,
Yes,
though.
the institutional name and identity will remain the Vancouver Art Gallery. The building itself, the iconic Herzog and de Meuron building, will be called the Chan Center for the Visual Arts.
Okay. And when you talk about this building and the architects, we're seeing the beautiful visuals that you may very well have seen over the past year. The influence and inspiration, where did this come from? Because you must travel all around the world seeing beautiful galleries and museums.
I do have that opportunity to do that because we're always out looking for, promoting British Columbia artists, Canadian artists to the world, and then looking to what shows are out there that we could bring to Vancouver. So our motto is kind of to bring the best of the art world to Vancouver and take Vancouver to the world. So we're always out meeting with colleagues, looking at museum projects, knowing that this was on the horizon, doing research, and I was familiar with Herzog and de Meuron's work many years ago when I was in Los Angeles and have followed their work. And even though we did a very extensive architect selection process, we actually had 77 architects from 16 different countries submit to our request for proposal for this project. And then we whittled it down to 5, and then the selection committee chose Herzog and de Meuron because they've done so many museums around the world. They're experts at museums. People are probably familiar with the Tate Modern in London, the De Young Museum in San Francisco. So at the Bird's Nest, they did this beautiful stadium in Beijing, which was part of the Olympic program. So
they know what they're doing.
They do know what they're doing.
Well, it's going to bring great personality to the city after all said and done. But where are things at for the fundraising? I know private lending, funding. There's going to be federal funding. What's the reality? What's the timeline?
Yes. So here we are. So we have the gallery was committed to raising privately $100 million for capital, $50 million for endowment. So out of the capital now, we've raised $85 million. We've been working very closely with our government partners on the provincial side and federal to come forward. That is the model in Canada, that it's usually a third private sector. The city has been very generous in donating a portion of the land at Larwell Park. And so we're looking for $100 million from the federal government and another $50 million from the provincial government. And they've been very encouraging and engaging and very supportive of this project. So we're feeling very optimistic that that support will come forward. And then we can kind of move towards groundbreaking, which we hope will be at the end of this year into early 2020.
And if that happens early 2020, what's the outlook for when this gallery?
The project will probably take about 3 years to build. So we'll be looking at 2023, 2024.
And as we close it out, how could this new building be a model for civic leadership?
Well, I think what's great about it is for the community, how it's designed. There's public spaces, there's free access galleries. Our education programs, which we can't accommodate in our current building, will grow 400%. So those sorts of things will have such an impact on our community.
Well, I look forward to the future. And Kathleen, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me. Very exciting time for us.
It definitely is.